All right, cool. Well, thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. Obviously, we're at home, so expect a cat or a dog to bark or jump on me. But let's go ahead and get started. So you can go ahead and start. If you have props, please grab them. I've got some blocks here. Books are good as well. So if you have some books or a pillow or a bolster, anything you might want to use during the practice, go ahead and grab it. Otherwise, I'm going to start laying down on my back. If you want to stay seated, please do. But let's go ahead and lay down. So just get comfortable for a few moments. You don't need to set up in full Shavasana just yet. We'll meet you there in 50 minutes. But go ahead and get comfortable and close your eyes. And just start to feel your body make contact on the floor. So maybe you feel the back of your head and the curve of your spine. The backs of your arms on the mat or your floor. Feel your hips, feel your spine start to settle a little bit. Feel the backs of your legs on your mat. Feel your heels on the ground. And as you feel yourself kind of come into your body a little bit more with a stronger awareness, really focus on your breath. Bring your attention to your breath. Let it start to deepen. Let your body start to find its own rhythm of inhale and exhale. And as you do this, call to mind something that you're grateful for. Maybe it's a person or a pet, a resource, a place, an opportunity. And if this is easy for you, then start to just make a list in your head. Or else focus on those one or two things that popped into your mind right away. And as you have those things, as you're holding them, think of where you might feel them in your body. So as you think of your person or your pet or your resource, where do you feel that gratitude in your body? Is it in your solar plexus or your heart? Or maybe it's just in your mind. There's no wrong answer. And if you don't have an answer, just pick one of those body parts and go with it. So notice where you feel it and tune in to that space. Feel that gratitude starting to build. And then use your breath to push that gratitude through your body. So imagine that it spreads through your core, through your spine, through your belly. That feeling of gratitude spreads up your neck, to your face, to your crown, down your arms to the palms of your hands, and down your hips, the backs of your legs, your knees, to the soles of your feet. And give this gratitude some dimensions. Give it a texture, give it a color, give it a feeling. Maybe it moves through your body like honey, or maybe it moves like a river. Maybe it just sparkles over your body like light. And just imagine that you're introducing every cell in your body before you begin to practice to this gratitude. And from here, take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And then open your mouth, sigh it out. Again, in and out. And one more time, breathe in. And exhale, sigh it all out. Really nice. So start to flutter your eyes open. Take a moment to reorient yourself with the room, with the space. And just nice and slow, you can roll to one side so we can make our way to sitting. If you stayed and seated, then you just take a moment there and wait for us to catch up. You're gonna push yourself up. You can come to the front of your mat in a cross-legged seat. I'm gonna open up to the side just so everyone can see me, but whichever feels more comfortable with you. And take a moment to ground out your sit bones. Feel your crown lift. Feel your heart expand so your shoulders drop down a little bit. Nice, and then just start to move. So take your right hand, bring it to the earth. Let your left hand come up to the sky and just reach over. I should say this is a slow flow stretch, just in case you didn't know. And then to the other side, nice and slow, good. Whoever has their video on, I love it. And then back and forth. And just start to sync it with your own pace, right? You have no one else to really watch but me. So just go ahead and sync it with your breath. Maybe close your eyes and just feel that expansion in your ribs. We'll take little moments of gratitude throughout our practice. So as we're stretching the side body here, feel that moment of gratitude for your lungs. Just filling them with breath. Good, and then finish up whatever side that you were on to even yourself out. And just come back up to seated. Good, we'll do cat-cow. So have your hands palms down on your knees. And then as you inhale, your heart lifts, your gaze looks up. And as you exhale, grip your knees a little bit for some traction and around the spine. Good, and again, moving back and forth between those two. Inhale and exhale. If this movement is really comfortable for you and feels good, you can stay with this. If you want to explore the space of your spine a little bit more, go ahead and start to circle around one way and then the other, maybe full torso circles or maybe closer to your body. Just starting to warm up your spine. Good, and then finish that one last breath. Come back to center, stand up nice and tall. Again, really good. We're gonna open the soles of our feet. So I'll still face you, but I'll just turn so you can see. So we're gonna come up onto our toes for a minute, right? And you're gonna reach back and you're gonna grab your pinky toes, make sure they're in line so they don't get forgotten. If you need to, your hands can stay here on blocks or some books or the floor, or you can start to walk your hands back in prayer. So you feel the soles of your feet open, close your eyes if you can. This can be an intense stretch, so take a breath here. And take a moment of gratitude for your feet and everything they do. We can get lost in all the things that are wrong, but our body does so much for us every day. And one more breath here. And then nice and slow, wherever your hands are, start to walk yourself out of that. Go ahead and just kick your feet on the floor. Good. And then go ahead and come up onto your knees. Go ahead and plant your right knee and extend your left leg long. You're gonna reach that right arm over your body. Just building on that side stretch we did seated. And then you're gonna let that right hand come down to the ground and the opposite hand come up. You can keep this nice T shape, or you can reach over a little bit more of a rainbow. Letting your heart gently rotate to the ceiling or the sky if you're outside. And then bring it all back to center. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So come back up onto your knees. Plant the opposite knee, extend that right leg. We'll go ahead and move that hand down the leg, left hand to the sky. Reach up and over, and then let your left hand find the ground, extend. Good, again, so find that T if that feels better for you, especially mindful of your neck, or else you could open up a little bit. Good, and then come back down to your knees, nice. If you're turned like me, go ahead and turn to the front of your mat now, if you're already there, cool. So bring your toes together for child's pose, let your knees spread wide, and just walk your arms out, let your body sink down, let your forehead find the ground. Maybe you rock your forehead side to side a little bit. Or maybe you're just in this stillness, reaching your arms, reaching your fingertips forward and letting your sit bones reach back to your mat. Breathing in and sighing out if that feels good, just to kind of let go of the tension. Another breath here. Now, child's pose feels really nice and stay here. If you want to move into puppy, you shift your weight forward. Maybe bring your knees in a little bit more and then walk your chest down to the ground. If your neck allows, you can let your chin be on the ground, or you can let your forehead come to the earth as well, but your seat's up in the air for puppy pose. If you're not in puppy, then you're in child's pose. So vibing out in that. And wherever you are, you're taking a nice deep breath. One more breath here. And then nice and slow, you come out of the pose and make your way to tabletop, no matter where you are. So line up, you stack your joints. Right, so you got your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, and we'll come into thread the needle. So take your right arm and lift it up to the sky, just to open the chest, and then go ahead and thread it underneath your left. Let your right shoulder, let your right ear, let your right head, right side of your head. If you have two heads, that's cool too. And you're going to take your left hand and push the earth away, or maybe extend it out long, or maybe up to the sky, or maybe cradle your sacrum. So find your variation, your shape, and then just settle into this twist. Let your right arm relax underneath you, so you get that shoulder stretch, and you feel that twist in your thoracic. One more breath here. Nice big exhale. Bring your left hand in line so that you can push your body back up. Right arm to the sky. Open up your heart space. And back to tabletop. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So that left hand comes to the sky first, opening up. And then you thread it underneath the right, letting your shoulder, letting your head rest. So my voice is not to you right now, so you have to look at my ponytail, but hopefully your eyes are closed and you're vibing out. And take a few breaths here. One more inhale in. And exhale out. Let the right hand come down so you can push yourself back up. Left hand to the sky. Really nice. And then find that tabletop pose. We'll come into down dog from here. So curl your toes into the mat and go ahead and lift up your seat. So let your hands spread, let your fingers spread wide. That leads in the thumb and the first finger. Let your head relax down and push your shoulders up and back. Maybe your knees are bent, maybe your heels touch, maybe they don't, maybe you have some combination, but your seat reaches up, you're elongating your spine, you're taking your first down dog of the practice. And just take a few breaths. Now from here, we're gonna come into low lunge, so you can lift your right leg to the sky, or you can just step it through and drop to your left knee. Your arms are gonna come up as you inhale, exhale down through your heart space, and then open up into goddess arms or cactus arms. And let your gaze, if you can, if your neck allows, let it shift up to the ceiling or let it be straight ahead. Inhale here, exhale, hands down to the ground and just step back into down dog. Do the same thing on the other side. So lift your left leg or just step it through. You'll find I don't lift my legs, so if you want to, please do. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, hands at heart center, and then open that heart space. Take a moment of gratitude for your heart. Moving the blood, pumping the blood, keeping you alive. And exhale, hands to the ground, step back into down dog, walk it out. Just pedal the heels. Good, and then everybody come up onto their toes, and we're just gonna tiptoe to the front of our mat on the first one. Once we get there, inhale, half lift. So your hands can stay on the ground, or maybe they slide up your shins. Exhale, forward fold. Root your feet. Inhale, arms come up and around. Exhale, hands at heart center. So we'll move through a couple sun salutations. If you want to do full chaturangas, go for it. If you want to modify, I'll modify. If you want to skip them, cool too. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift, get that leg. Exhale, hands to the earth. Option just to step back in down dog or step back into plank. I'm gonna modify by coming to my heels. Nope, my knees, that'd be cool if I did that. And then lower all the way to the ground. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. I come back into tabletop and back into down dog. We all meet in down dog no matter where we were, no matter where we started. And take a breath. Good, come up on your toes, walk to the front of your mat between your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up and around. Exhale, hands at heart center. Really nice. Again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to the earth. Option to skip or step back. I'll modify. Half plank, lowering down. Cobra, and I find my way back to down dog. Good, so from here, we're gonna add some standing poses. So we'll come into warrior one first. So take your left toes and just open them up, just a little turn of the foot, and then step your right foot forward. Inhale your arms around and up and sink into the pose, right? So you get that knee line over the ankle, your heels, maybe they're in alignment, maybe they're a little wider. Good, and then you open up, warrior two. So your heel comes in line with the back foot, the arch. Your spine is in line with your hips, your arms reach out in both directions. Then flip your front hand, reach back, peaceful warrior. And then windmill your hands down to the earth and just step back into down dog, walk it out. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So open your right toes, 45-degree angle, and step your left foot forward. Inhale, arms up, warrior one. From here, warrior two. It feels so rude to have my back to you, but you get the point. Sink into the pose. And then flip that front hand and reach back, opening the ribs, rotating the heart. Your gaze is towards your hand or towards your back foot. And windmill your arms down to the ground, step back into down dog, walk it out. From here, take your hands and walk them to the back of your mat. Once you get there, nice inhale, half lift, always lengthening your spine. Exhale, fold, root your feet. Inhale, arms up and around. Exhale, hands at heart center. We'll come into extended mountain. So get your feet a comfortable distance for you for mountain. And then just inhale your arms up. Right, so let your fingertips reach to the sky, but let your shoulders drop down. Feel your feet engage with the floor, the mat, or the grass. Let your quads engage so your knees lift. Good, maybe your gaze shifts up or maybe it stays straight, and just feel the strength in your arms. That wave of gratitude moving through your fingertips to your shoulders. And then exhale, hands out, heart center. Nice, inhale, arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to the earth, and you just walk it back out into down dog. Where we'll find our flow and add on a little bit. So take that left foot, open up the toes, right foot steps forward, warrior one. Sink into the pose. And open up, warrior two. Flip your front hand, reach back, peaceful warrior. Windmill the arms again, but this time come up into the runner's lunge. So come up onto that left toe, maybe sink into the pose a little bit. Let your hips open and then drop that left knee totally. Find our low lunge again. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, find an arm position that feels good. So maybe it's goddess arms. Maybe you find a bind. Maybe you keep your hands at heart center. And exhale, hands to the earth. We're going to shift back into half split. So if you have your blocks or you want your blocks, grab them. But you're going to shift your weight back, hopping up onto that right heel. If you want blocks, they're great to have right here. If you don't have blocks at home, grab a couple of good books. Well, they can be bad books. We're not reading them. So just grab something that you need. If not, then your hands just come to the ground. That right hip wants to move forward and away out of the pose a little bit. So bring your intention to that right sit bone and let it drop down and back. On your next inhale, slowly come out. Let your foot find the earth, nice and slow, really good. And then find that runner's lunge again. Plant your left hand, rotate your right arm up to the sky. Opening up those hips, twisting the thoracic spine a little bit. And both hands to the ground, step back into down dog, walk it out. A couple breaths here. Let your feet, let your heels become still for one breath before we do the other side. Good, so open your right toe, step your left foot forward, inhale, arms up, warrior one. Open up to warrior two, you know the flow a little bit by now. Flip your front hand, reach back. for peaceful, finding a spot for your gaze. And wiggle your arms back down to the ground, but take that runner's lunge. You come up onto that right toe, let your hips sink a little. And then come down to the right knee. Inhale, arms up, and find your arm variation, whatever feels good for you. Hands at heart, goddess arms. Hands on your knee. Good, then exhale, hands come down to the earth, and we'll shift onto that left heel, perhaps split on the other side. So again, if you need the blocks, put them here. Let that sit bone relax down. You're moving your head towards your knee. It doesn't have to touch, don't worry. Good, inhale, let that foot find the ground nice and slow. And come up into that runner's lunge again. So plant your right hand. This time your left hand spins to the sky. Be intentional with your gaze. If you want to look forward, or you need to look forward because you have to watch me, go ahead. Otherwise, look up to the sky. And exhale, bring that hand down, step back into down dog, walk it out. We'll come to the top of our mat, so come up on your toes again. If anybody wants to jump, they can, but just tiptoe. If you don't want to jump, inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, arms come up and around. Exhale, hands at heart center. Good. So from here, we're going to come into chair pose. So as you inhale, you sit in your chair. Hands come up in front. If you want, if it hurts your neck, you can bring them in line with your heart space. We'll just be here for a breath or two. I like to keep a little distance between my feet, so find that distance that feels good for you. And you probably feel something in your legs. Whatever it is, make it be gratitude for just a moment. And then nice and slow, come back up to standing and release out of the pose. Really nice. From here, we'll come into pyramid pose. So if you know you need your blocks, have them handy. You're going to sit back with that left foot to start. You want to keep a little bit of distance, but nothing too wide, not like a warrior. Your left toes are open a little bit, and you're straddling that midline of your mat. Start with your hands on your hips. And inhale, let the heart lift, and then bend at the waist. Now, if you're comfortable releasing your hands, they would find those blocks, right? Or they would find the floor. So you're moving your head towards your knee. Just like we did in that half split, that right hip wants to come up and forward like this, so let it just rest back. If you need to bend your front knee, you can. Continue to breathe. Let your neck dangle, let gravity kind of do its work, right? Let it do its job. And with a slight bend in that front knee, inhale, half lift, bring your hands back to your hips and just come up nice and slow with that flat back. Good, and step your left foot up, we'll do the other side. So maybe you pedal out the heels for a moment. And then hands on your hips, take your right foot, step it back out and open the toes a little bit. Find that distance that feels good to you. Straddling your midline, hands on your hips, inhale. And exhale, fold forward. You can stay here, or you can bring your hands to the blocks or to the floor. And this time as you do this pose, you've got the mechanics of it now. So just imagine anything, any junk from the day or the week, just imagine with your breath, it just falls down. And just imagine you can hear it shattering onto the floor. So as you exhale, Just free up your spine. Let all your worries, all your anxiety of the week just fall off. Really nice. A little bend in that front leg and that half lift. Hands to your hips and come all the way up to stand. And let your feet meet each other. So we'll come into some balancing poses. I'm going to open up just so you can see me, but you can stay at the front of your mat. So first we're going to come into balancing star pose. So go ahead and plant your right leg. So you just shift the weight, but don't lift your other leg yet. Go ahead and spiral your arms out. And then lift that left leg for balancing star. So if you need to, that toe can come down. But otherwise, you stay here balancing. Feel your crown lift. Feel your standing leg working. If you want to move your hands up in this position, more of a traditional start, go ahead. If that hurts your neck, have them out to the side. One more breath here. And then nice and slow, release down. Go do the same thing on the other side. So plant your opposite foot. Spiral your arms out, find your variation. And then lift that opposite leg. Imagine your standing leg is rooting into the earth, digging down into the dirt, wrapping around the rocks as your crown lifts up to the sky. And release everything down. Good. From here, we'll come into tree pose. So if you need to pedal it out, please do. And you're going to plant your right foot. And you've got different variations, right? So maybe hands are at heart center to start. Maybe your foot's at your ankle or here, or the inside of the thigh. Wherever it is, it's pushing against its standing leg just as your hands are pushing against each other for tree pose. Now you can stay here with your hands or you can grow your branches any way you'd like. If that feels good, find a spot to gaze at. And let your gaze soften. Let your heart continue to lift wherever you are, whatever variation you have. And nice and gracefully, if you just fell down, I'm sorry, bad time. And bring your hands back to your heart space. And then step out of the pose. Really good. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. So plant your opposite foot and find your level. It might be different than it was on the other side, and that's okay. Always listening to your body. Bring your hands together. Good. Now, we want our hips to stay squared to the front so that we often think tree pose, we need to open it up so the knee's all the way over, but see how much my torso turns because my left hip is tight. So make sure that you keep the pelvis straight and then bring your hands here. Don't worry about where your knee is. And settle into the pose. You can stay here or you can grow your branches any way you'd like. Again, softening the gaze, finding something to stare at. And then gracefully bringing your hands back up and around, down through your heart center, and stepping out of the pose. Nice. So if you're at the front of your mat still, go ahead and open up to whatever side would face me. So you can turn into a wide angle forward fold, but not yet. I know Tyler loves this pose. So we're going to kick our heels and toes out. We're going to sit down into goddess. So find those goddess arms here or here. Sink into the pose. So you feel your heels, you feel your feet, and you push the earth away, which lifts you up a little bit if you're exaggerating it. And then you settle in. Good. A couple of breaths here. Gratitude for the strength in your legs. Gratitude for this pose almost being over. And then nice and slow, you push the earth away. Come up as slow as you can. Then go ahead and turn your toes towards the front. Grab your hips. Inhale, lift. Then exhale, go ahead and fold forward. Let your hands come in front of you. If you need your blocks, go ahead and grab them. If you want to put your head on a block, also another option. And just hang out here for a minute. Feel your spine start to stretch, start to open. And just have gratitude for everything your spine does. And there's my dog if you hear her. And inhale, half lift, walk your hands, release your spine, look up. As you exhale, walk your hands around back to that runner's lunge and just step back into down dog. Pedal out the heels. Good, and then you'll lift your right leg to the sky, if that feels good, and bring your knee into your nose for pigeon. Lay it across your mat. If you want to do pigeon on your back, please do, just grab figure 4. Otherwise, you'll come into pigeon this way. So get some length in your spine first, and then if you'd like, start to walk down to a distance that feels good to you. So maybe you're on your forearms, maybe you're on your hands, maybe you grab a block and hang out. Right, so find whatever variation feels the best. And then close your eyes. Bring your awareness to your hips. Feel them opening, expanding, releasing. Thank them for sitting and standing and carrying you through life. And a really intentional breath here before we move. So a nice deep inhale in through your nose. Gather up anything you want to release and then just sigh it all out. Let your next inhale bring you up onto your hands. If you're on your back, just windshield wiper the knees side to side. And make your way back into down dog. You can hip circle that right leg for a moment, maybe lift it to the sky. And then find that down dog again with both feet on the earth. And lift your left leg to the sky if you're in down dog and bring it through for pigeon. If you're on your back, just switch your figure 4. Get some length in your spine. And then walk it out. So again, any props you need, you might want a prop underneath your seat. You might want something in front of you. And this time on this side, and see if you can just start to soften other parts of your body. So I know your focus is on the hip, and maybe this is a pose you love, maybe it's a pose you don't love, but just see if you can bring some softening to your face. Let your jaw, let your eyes relax. And see if that feeling can move down to your shoulders. Maybe you're holding in your shoulders a little bit, and maybe you can just start to adjust and let them soften with your breath. And bring your awareness to your feet, the soles of your feet. Can you let them go just a little bit? And feel your belly, bring your awareness to your belly. Can you let your breath soften your belly, whether it's resting on your leg or on a bolster? And just notice if maybe your hip loosened up after all, with a sneak attack by softening the rest of your body. And just like we did on that other side, take a nice deep breath in. And let every molecule of air out of your lungs on your next exhale. And go ahead and inhale up onto your hands. If you're on your back, release out of the pose and take windshield wipers. And reach back into down dog if you are on your belly. And hip circles or reach that up to the sky. Good, so if you're on your back or figure four, join us. And down dog for a minute. We're gonna come into Malasana Yogi squat. So we're gonna walk our feet up to our hands, but we're gonna take them behind our feet with our toes at a 45-degree angle as we sit down. If you want to block, you can put it underneath you or a pillow. Bring your elbows to the inside of your knees. Bring your hands at heart center. I'll just turn so I can look at you. All right, so you've got that relationship between your elbows and your knees. Again, block if you need it. And you've got that relationship between your hands at the heart center. Let your crown lift. Feel your tailbone reach towards the earth. Feeling your spine lengthen, straighten. Maybe close your eyes. And one more breath here. And then nice and slow, make your way out of the pose into tabletop. Good, and just sit back onto your heels. We're gonna shift our hips so we can come into forward fold. So pick a side. Go ahead and sit down, feel your sit bones on the earth. Let your toes point back towards your face. So if you need to bend your knees or you need a strap, towel works as well. And then inhale, arms up. And exhale, reach forward. So again, reaching for any space on your body that feels good to you. So don't feel like you have to overdo it. If you want a bolster here or a pillow, also an option. Feel your belly soften. Feel the backs of your legs release. Let your next inhale carry you back up. If you ride it like a wave, come all the way up. Really nice. We'll come into a wide angle forward fold. So I'll turn to my mat, but you don't have to. You've probably got the space. And you can open your legs whatever distance feels good for you. Right, so find your spot. And again, feel your sit bones and energize your feet. And then start to walk your hands out. So maybe you stay here. Maybe this is good enough. Maybe you come all the way down. I'm going to stay here so I can see you. And because it burns like 1,000 suns today because my left hip is tight, but you pick. So if you want to come all the way down, if you want to lay on a bolster, anything that feels good in this pose is what you should do. Find that spot to look at, right? This isn't a balancing pose, but we need to bring our focus, keep our intention, keep our awareness through these poses. Good, don't let your feet go floppy, there you go. And nice and slow. Walk yourself back up, really good. So I'm gonna turn back to the front of my mat and we'll come into a twist. So extend that left leg, bring your right knee in, stand up nice and tall. We're gonna take our left arm and hug our knee. Our right hand becomes our second spine. Again, that extended leg stays energized, and you look over your shoulder, maybe just look at the back wall, whatever your view is over the knee. Feel that twist in your spine. And nice and slow, untwist, extend the right leg down, bring the left knee in, get tall, give it a hug, support yourself with your left hand, and you look over the shoulder, you look straight ahead. And nice and slow, untwist. Really good. So gently, we're gonna make our way onto our spine. So if you have props at your house, bring them close by. And you're gonna lower down. Bring your heels towards your seat. If you want to do supported bridge, you grab a prop that you have, walk a couple books, and you're gonna bring your heels towards your seat. And just lift up and slide whatever prop you have, be a bolster too, or a couple pillows underneath your sacrum and hang out. If you want to move through half lift, then you just push your pelvis up, keep your hands on the ground. If you want to go a little further, you kind of come up onto your shoulders, grab that bind with your hands and hang out. If you want to go further than this, you're on your own, good luck. You'll do great. Otherwise, hang out. Don't look to the camera like I'm doing. Look up to the sky, wherever you are, whatever pose. Feel that opening in your neck. A moment of gratitude for your neck and all it does. Same for your throat and your voice. And if you have that bind, go ahead and undo it. Let your shoulders find the ground. And then one vertebrae at a time, we lower down. If you have a prop underneath you, go ahead and remove it. And then just let your knees smack together for a moment. Bring your hands in prayer to your forehead. And let your spine settle. Good. From here, bring your knees into your chest. Maybe you bring your head up to meet it for a moment, and just one big hug of gratitude for your entire body. And then rest your head down, lift your feet to the sky, grab an inversion. So I'll just be showing waterfall. If anybody wants to do dead bug or shoulder stand out as your chants. And hang out in this inversion for a moment. So if you're in waterfall, your feet are just pointed towards the ceiling or the sky. Your belly softens. This isn't a core exercise, so let your belly soften. If you can hear my dog barking, she's quiet 364 days of the year, but today she wants to say hi, I guess. So keep your breath full. Keep your breath even, start to slow it down, start to let it find that rhythm that you gained at the beginning of your practice. And then nice and slow, whatever inversion you're in. So if you went rogue on us and you're in shoulder stand or plow, start to come out of that pose. If you're in waterfall, just let your feet find the earth. And then stretch them out long to the edges, to the corners of your mat. And let your palms rest face up. Get comfortable if you want a bolster. I wish I had a lavender towel for you. It's in the mail. If you want a bolster or a pillow for your head or any props for your Shavasana, then go ahead and get them and get comfortable. So give everybody a minute to do that. And then once you've adjusted, close your eyes. And right away, just reconnect with that opening meditation. Tune in to the gratitude in your body, in your cells. Remember what color, what texture. Remember where it started in your body, where you felt it the most. And then just let your breath continue to move it into each cell so that you carry it with you at the end of this class. You take it into your day, into your week. You let the gratitude spill over into all aspects of your life. So just be still here for a few breaths. Let your next breath bring you back into the room. Start to move your fingers, your toes. Maybe reach your arms overhead. And then make your way to one side to make your way up to that cross-legged seat, but take your time. You make your way up when you're ready. No rush if you want to hang out here for the next hour. That's cool. And just come into that cross-legged seat, your sit bones on the ground, your crown lifting high. And this time bring your hands out heart center. And take a moment before you leave to set your intention for today, for the week. And once you have it, seal it with a breath in. And then let it go to the universe. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. There's another class tonight. Sophie says
Again.
the whole time. I hope you guys had a good time. Thanks so much for coming. And this will be on recorded later. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you.